one word that gets used a ton in hockey, probably overused, is desperation. But it does have its place in the sport. You can feel it, and it's happening. Morning to you. Good Thursday morning. I'm Dejan Kovacevic of DK Pittsburgh Sports. This is Daily Shot of Penguins. It comes your way bright and early every weekday if you're into football and or baseball. I also offer daily shots of Steelers and Pirates in the same place that you found this. Penguins versus Islanders tonight. Home opener at PPG Paints Arena. That's a 7:08 p.m. face-off, and it's got a tough act to follow, given what I just covered in Manhattan. Because if we get past some of the individual accolades that were deserved from that general performance, Evgeny Malkin, best player on the ice, Harrison Brunik, Ben Kindle showing well as teenagers, Justin Brazeau popping a couple of goals. The list is a lot longer than that. Heck, Artur Shilov's with the 25-save shutout. But the truth is, the star of their game, as boring and cliched as this might come across, was the way they got it done together. And the further truth is, and I don't want to speak for you here, but just maybe to poke inside your brain a little bit, I'm going to guess that what got your motor going probably wasn't a whole lot different than what I know for a fact got their collective motor going. And that's that they went into that third period with the 1-goal lead. They saw the victory, the 2 points, as being theirs and something that would have to be taken from them. And they, as in all of them, didn't want that to happen. So they go out there and, doing the complete opposite of sitting in a shell, they outshot the Rangers 15-5. They kept playing what they believe. Boy, are they convincing on this count, like all of them. They believe is their game. The way they're going to swarm, the way they're going to irritate you, the way they're going to make sure that you don't feel like you can take a deep breath in any of the three zones. And I don't know about you, but I spent that entire third period not even thinking that there was a possibility that they'd blow this lead, which sounds completely crazy given what we've watched now for half a decade of this team losing leads nonstop. First shot, first goal for the other guys. Final minute goals for the other guys. Odd man breaks that you'd have to withstand. They defended. And they defended, here comes that word again, desperately. They defended as if, oh no, it's the last 10 seconds, even if it might have been the last 10 minutes or the last 2 periods. Well, I'm not about to break any big hockey ground here on you. But what they need to do tonight to beat the Islanders is the same thing they'll need to do Saturday night to beat the Rangers again, is the same thing they'll need to do when they go out to California and face, in order, the Ducks, the Kings, and the Sharks. Because it's the same thing they'll need to do to make a success of this 2025-26 season. If one impression was made more powerfully than any other in that locker room in Madison Square Garden the other night, it was that they're confident in the way they're being tasked with playing, in how much their teammates can contribute to that, regardless of what the role is. And Sidney Crosby made a special point of that, of stressing that. Everyone's got something they can bring. Well, bring it. And they did. What you don't want to do, the biggest risk that this team runs, both tonight and Saturday, before heading out west, is to let go of what that feeling was in the Garden. Not afterward. Not afterward. They were actually kind of whatever afterward. But during, they need to bag that, bottle it, whatever it takes, but bring it back in this game tonight. Doesn't mean you got to win. It doesn't mean outcomes and results. If they play irresponsibly, if they play loose, if they don't generate offense on the forecheck, if they don't support each other between the blue lines, but they somehow win, I don't know, 4-3. It's not going to be the same. It's not going to be the same. And believe you me, if they were to fall short tonight on the scoreboard, but they were to act as cohesively as they did the other night, I'm sorry, but I'll take that. I'll take that. This team, this franchise, really, with a new head coach and the general manager bringing in the new young players and so forth, it needs to carve out an identity. And the identity, unlike a lot of the individual progressions, doesn't need to wait. No one needs to see Kindle, for instance, celebrate his 20th birthday before they say, oh yeah, here comes our identity now. No, it's how you play. It's what you believe in when you're on the ice. I didn't think it would happen this quickly. Erik Karlsson was joking with me at the Garden about how the veterans just had a couple of preseason games and they really shouldn't have been anywhere near as up to date as the younger players who got into a bunch of them. But he said that he felt the veterans were invested in the practices, in the drills. And as I'd been reporting to you at the time, that seemed genuine. Well, at least after one game, it turned out that it was. Let's see how it goes after a second game when we come back, J1Q. Today's J1Q comes from Josh, who says, hey DK, can you shed a light on what you believe the coaching staff sees in Caleb Jones? I know Owen Pickering needs some work, but I can't see why he wouldn't be in over Jones. I happen to be with you on this, Josh, actually on both counts of that. My belief is that Pickering is ready for the NHL level. My further belief within that is that I don't have access to all of the information that the coaching staff and management do, so I always try to keep that in mind, meaning, it's awkward to put something into hypotheticals here because you'll think I'm throwing hints out. This is something I actually know, and I don't. But if you were to know something about a player that maybe there's a bad habit here or something, who knows? Who knows? Setting aside all other potential scenarios, I'd rather see Pickering out there in large part because I'd rather see the player who I think is going to get better as opposed to the one who has shown everybody exactly who he is, for better and worse, for several years. Jones has his wheels. He's fearless. I think you could have seen both of those in that game the other night at the Garden, the way he handled the puck along the boards, the way he put himself into vulnerable positions to make sure that he was able to move the puck along. But, you also saw some of the stuff that I'd been complaining about through the preseason. He's not at all reliable with the puck. And beyond Jones's own showing, I can't begin to understand having him be the guy that's paired with Harrison Brunick when you're trying to get the most out of Brunick. So, I don't have a shed a light thing for you here. But I can maybe shed at least a little bit of light at the other end of this equation. Pickering had told me in camp that he understood that the Penguins' upper people wanted to see physicality from the left side. They knew what they were going to have on the right side, and by that I mean Chris Letang and Erik Karlsson. And there was at least an opportunity in place for Connor Clifton on that side who would have brought some physicality. As it was, Clifton's a healthy scratch the other night. Matt Dumba, who also has a physical component to his game, but is also right-handed, was a healthy scratch the other night. Yesterday's practice in Cranberry had Clifton and Dumba continuing to skate as if they're going to get scratched tonight. So your left side on the defense is Parker Wotherspoon, Ryan Shea, and Jones. And let's not pretend like I hadn't been bringing this up for months, not weeks, months, sounding this alarm bell. Now, I'd like to think if the remainder of the team continues to do its part that management is going to keep making changes on left defense and that it could all look very different even in a short amount of time. And for as much praise as I've heaped upon this team for 1/82nd of the season the other night, there were players who did not impress. That goes for almost everybody on the left side of defense. I thought Wotherspoon was pretty good on penalty kill. I thought Ville Koivunen might have had his worst game as a professional, specifically related to his puck management. I scarcely noticed Tommy Novak. I'm not even sure what he's supposed to be. I thought Phil Tomasino struggled other than one shift and just sometimes just doesn't see plays around him. He has his head down as if he's got blinders on and he's just going to go to the net every time and make magic, and it's just not how it works. It's certainly not what you want when Ben Kindle's out there centering his line and looking to create. So it was encouraging for me to see that in yesterday's practice in Cranberry, the third line had Kindle between Novak and Philip Hollander, who'd been scratched in New York. That appears to have Tomasino lining up to be the healthy scratch tonight. He rotated in on the fourth line with Connor Dewar, but Dewar can kill penalties, which means Dewar is going to be in. And the bigger variable out of all of this is that Brian Rust returned to practice yesterday, full contact, correct colored sweater, and all that other stuff. If Rust is back, Rust is going to be on the top line. Something else I've been telling you all summer, it'll be Rust, Sidney Crosby, and Rickard Rakell. That would allow Koivunen, who very much needs to keep playing, obviously, to maybe, I don't know, drop down into Novak's place. I don't know. This is the stuff that's fun. It's hockey season. This is cool. I appreciate the question. I appreciate everybody listening to Daily Shot of Penguins. I'll be there covering the home opener tonight, and you'll be spending the time between now and face-off downloading the DK Pittsburgh Sports app, where you can follow all of our hockey coverage around the clock. We have a dedicated Penguins feed, nothing but Penguins on it. My coverage, our beat writer Taylor Haas's coverage. We are everywhere that the team is. Games, practices, you name it. Nobody does hockey like we do. Download the app on your Apple device, on your Android device, and then, and this is the important part, email me directly. It's not a auto answering thing or whatever. You're emailing me. I'm going to be the only one that sees it, to let me know if you're interested in the premium level of the app. If you are, I will hook you up with a massive discount because I want you using the good version of the app. Email me at dk@dkpittsburghsports.com. Let's do this again tomorrow.